Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss NEET 2020 physics paper. Okay. So as compared to previous year, this year the paper was easy. So I hope you all done good. Okay. So let's see the first question. What is the first question over here? So this is the first question. This is given over here. So in the first question, what is given? He is asking what is the values of resistance and tolerance. Okay. So we know that, okay, the first two strip will give to us what? First two strip will give to us the digit. So for the yellow, the digit will be what? 4, and for the violet color, the digit will be 7 over here. Okay. And third strip, this brown color will give to us a multiplier. Okay. So here for the brown color, the multiplier will be into 10. Okay. And the fourth strip is the golden color, and this will give to us the tolerance. So here the tolerance will be what? Plus minus 5%. Okay. So if you will compare this thing with the options, so you will get a first option. So that's why the option number 1 is correct. Okay. You can see this thing in the NCERT book. So there is table is given. So there is given for what color which number will come. Okay. Which digit will come, which multiplier come. You can follow your NCERT book. Okay. Let's take a second question. In the second question, what is? Find the torque about the origin when the force of 3J Newton acts on the particle whose position vector is 2k cap meter. Okay. So here what is asking? He is asking torque. So we know that the torque formula is what? Okay. What is the torque formula? Okay. Torque equals to R cross F. R cross F. Correct. So here position vector is given 2k cap, and here the force vector is also given. This is a 3J. Correct. 3J and 2k cap. If you will multiply these two things and if you will do the cross product, then after the cross product you will get this answer, 4 number answer. Okay. So that's why minus 6I Newton meter is correct here. Okay. How we can do this thing? How we can do the cross product? Just see here. This is I cap, this is J cap, and this is the K cap. Okay. So here we have to go, okay, in a clockwise direction. If we will do the cross product between IJ, then we will get a K. If we will do the K cross I, then we will get a J. But if we will go in anti-clockwise direction, let's suppose we will do K cross J, then we will get minus I. Okay. So here what is the value of R position vector? R position vector is 2k cap. Correct. And F value is what? 3J cap. So here 2 into 3 is what? 6, and cross product between K and J. So if we will go from K to J, then we have to go in anti-clockwise direction. That's why minus I will come. So answer will be what? Here the minus sign will come, and here I will come. So that's why we are getting the 4 number answer. Okay. So let's see the question number 3 here. What is the third number question? Okay. The third number question is what here? A cylinder contain hydrogen gas at pressure of 249 kilopascal and temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Its density is R equals to 8.3 joule per mole per Kelvin. Okay. So he is asking what is the density, the pressure is given, temperature is given, and R value is also given over here. He is asking for the hydrogen gas. Okay, so we know that PV equals to what? We know that PV equals to what? PV equals to nRT, correct? And N can be written as M by M naught. Okay, this is the molecular weight and this is the mass of the gas, RT PV. Okay, so here M by V is what? Density. So we can write down P M naught equals to M by V RT. Okay, so M by V is what? Density. So that's why the density will be what? What we can write down the density over here. The density can be written as, okay, density can be written as P M naught by RT. Okay, after then if you will put the value of this, Okay, all the values if you will put inside this, so you will get a density. Okay, so after the solving of this equation, you will get answer number 1. So that's why answer number 1 is correct over here. Okay, just put the values over here. Here this pressure is given to 249 kilopascal. Okay, so here we have to put in a pascal. So what we can write down, 249 into 10 raised to 3. R value is given, m naught will be 2 here. So just put this all the values inside this equation and get your answer. So after the calculation, you will get definitely 0.2 kg per meter cube. Okay, let's see the next question over here. The next question is what? Two cylinders A and B of equal capacity and connected to each other via stop cook contain an ideal gas at standard temperature and pressure. B is completely evacuated. The entire system is thermally insulated. The stopcock is suddenly opened. The process is okay. So here, if I will draw the diagram for you, so it will be like that. This is the A container, okay, and this is the B container. So this is the A and this is the B. So what is happening after then? Connected to each other via stopcock. Okay, here is one stopper is also here, like that. Okay, and inside this is some gas and here is also some gas. So contain ideal gas, standard temperature and pressure. B is completely evacuated. Inside the B, the gas is not present. Okay, inside the B, the gas is not present. The gas is present only inside the A here. Okay. Okay, so A contain ideal gas, B is completely evacuated. The entire system has thermally insulated, and this system is the thermally insulated. So what is the meaning of thermal insulated over here? The thermal insulated meaning here is heat cannot be transferred. So heat transfer over here is 0. So heat transfer over here is 0. Okay, so if you will open this stopper, okay, then what will be happen? This gas will be start to flow inside the B container. Okay, and see here what is happening. First thing is what? This is thermal insulated. So this process, if the we know that this thing, okay, we know this thing, if the heat will not transfer in a process, then we can say this is the adiabatic process. Correct or not? We can say this is the adiabatic process. So here heat is not transferring inside the surrounding. Okay, and second thing is what? When you will open this cock, then what will happen? Gas will flow very fast from A to B. That's why we can say this is the adiabatic process. So that's why the option number A is correct over here. Okay, because of that, one thing is what? This is the insulated. So heat transfer is 0 over here. Second thing is what? The process is very fast. This process is very fast. That's why this is the adiabatic. So answer 1 is correct over here. Let's see the fifth number question. This question is taken from the center of mass chapter. Okay, so here what is happening? Two particles of mass 5 kg and 10 kg respectively are attached to the two ends of the rigid rod of length 1 meter with negligible mass. The center of mass of the system from the 5 kg particle is nearly at a distance of. Okay, so here in this question what is happening? We having two particles. One particle mass is what? 5 kg. Correct. And second particle mass is what? 10 kg. Okay, so this is, let's suppose, m1, this is m2. Correct. And the distance between these two particles is what is? This is given 1 meter. The distance between the particle is also given. This is the 1 meter. Okay, and he is asking the center of mass of the system from the 5 kg particle is nearly at a distance of. Okay, so let's suppose the center of mass will come over here. So this is center of mass. Okay, so if I will use this formula, XCM equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. Correct. So see, we can take, okay, right now I am putting this. Okay, let's suppose this is the 0 0. Okay, the coordinate of this 5 kg mass is what? 0 0, and coordinate of this 10 kg mass is what? The coordinate of this 10 kg will be 1 comma 0. Okay, so coordinate of center of mass will be xcm we are finding, and ycm. Okay, this entire system we are putting on the x-axis, that's why y coordinate will be 0 here. So only we will find out over here is x coordinate, correct? So let's see what we will get here after the putting the value. See the m1. So what will be the m1 value here? M1 value will be 5 over here. So 5 into x1 will be what? 0 plus m2. Mass of this second mass is what? 10 kg, and x2 is what? X2 is the 1 over here, divided by m1 plus m2. m1 is 5 and m2 is 10 over here, so that's why 5 plus 10, correct? So 5 plus 10 is what? 15, and this is 10 by this. So after the solving of this, I am writing over here xcm equals to what we will get finally? 10 by 15. Okay, see here we are getting in a meter, but the options is given in a centimeter, so we have to multiply with the 100 also. Okay, so here after then the multiply with the 100, we have to multiply with the 100. So after the solving of this xcm, we will get 67 centimeter. Okay, so that's why this option number 4 is correct over here. Okay, let's see the next question. So you can see over here, all this question is also is a very simple question. Okay, this is only based on the center of mass, and this question is taken from the point mass system. Okay, let's see the question number 6 over here. The question number 6 is given over here is a ray is incident at an angle of incidence I on one surface of a small angle prism with angle of prism A and emerges normally from the opposite surface. If the refractive index of the material of the prism is mu, then the angle of incidence is nearly equal to. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this numerical. Okay, so first of all I am drawing over here is prism. This question is taken from the ray optics chapter, okay, from the prism topic. So let's see. Here the angle of prism is given, this is the A, correct, and incidence ray is falling like that. This is the incident ray and this angle is I here. And one thing is given in this question is the surface small angle prism with the angle of prism is A and emerges normally from the opposite surface. So when this ray, this incident ray emerges from this prism, at that time it is emerges normally. Okay, so it will be like that. So this angle will be what? This angle will be 90 degree, correct? So if you will apply the geometry over here and if you will find out this angle, so this angle will be also A. Angle of prism is A, and if you will use the geometry over here, if you will apply the geometry over here, so after the calculation you will get this will be also A over here. So this angle is I, okay, and outer side of this prism is what? Obviously air here. So if I will apply the Snell's law over here, so it can be right like that, mu1 sine I equals to mu2 sine R. R equals to what here? R equals to A here, okay, from the geometry. And mu2 is what? Mu2 is the refractive index of the prism, so this is mu and this is sine A here. And mu1 is what? Refractive index of the air, so it will be 1 into sine I, okay, correct. So after then, if you will calculate this thing, see here a ray is incident and at an angle of incidence I on one surface of the small angle of prism. So here prism angle is small, correct? So that's why sine A equals to what? A, and sine I equals to what? A, because the prism angle is very small. That's why we can write down here I equals to mu A. Because of that prism angle is very small, that's why. So if you will check the options here, so we are getting option number 4 is correct. Okay, so let's see the next question. Okay, next question is what? A body weight 72 Newton on the surface of the earth. What is the gravitational force on it at a height equals to half the radius of the earth? Okay, so on the earth surface, okay, on the earth surface, weight of the body is given 72 Newton here. So let's see. Let's suppose this is the earth and mass of the earth is me. Okay, and here is this body and the mass of this body is m, and the radius is what? Re here. So we know that weight equals to what? Weight equals to g, mass of the earth, m, mass of the body. This m is what? Mass of the body, and re square. Correct. So this thing is what is given? This is given 72. The value of this is what? 72. R square. And after that, what we are doing here, we are we are moving this body in upward direction, and this distance is what? This distance is Re by 2. Okay, so we know that this thing, when we will go on a height from the earth's surface, at that time what will happen? The gravitational acceleration will be decreased. Okay, so gravitational acceleration will decrease, that's why the weight of the body will also decrease. Okay, so he is asking when we will go till Re by 2 height from the earth's surface, at that time what is the weight of the body? Okay, so let's see here. So Re square value is what? 72 Newton. Okay, so let's suppose at a Re by 2 height, okay, weight is Wx. So this will be G, mass of the earth will not change, mass of the body will not change, correct? Mass of the body will also not change, only what is changing? The distance between earth and body. So it will be what? Re plus Re by 2 whole square, correct? After the solving of this, what we can write down here? G M E M by, this will be what? 3 Re by 2. So after the square of this 3 Re by 2, what we can write down here? 9 Re square by 4 here, correct? So if I will further solve this equation, then what I can write down here? This will be 4. See, this GMEM Re square value is what? 72. So 72 into 4 divided by 9, correct? This is the Wx. So after the solving of this, what we will get? We will get option number 1, 32 Newton. So that's why option number 1 is correct here. Okay, let's see the next question. Let's see the question number 8 over here. An iron rod of susceptibility 599 is subjected to a magnetizing field of 1200 ampere per meter. The permeability of the material of the rod. Okay, so see what he is asking. He is asking permeability of the material. Okay, and we know that the relation between relative permeability and the susceptibility is what? See, I am writing over here mu m equals to 1 plus x. X is what? Susceptibility. Okay, so 1 plus 599 mu m. So relative permittivity, okay, I am denoting with a mu r. I am denoting with mu r. So relative permittivity is what we are getting here, mu r, and mu r we are getting 600 here. Okay, and we know that one thing also, relative permittivity can be written as permittivity of the material by mu naught. Okay, so what we are finding here, mu m. Mu m is what? Permeability of the material. So this is mu m equals to mu naught into mu r. Okay, so after the solving of this, what you will get? You will get option number 2. Okay, so answer second is correct here. Let's see the next question over here. The next question is what? For a transistor action, which of the following statement is correct over here? The base region must be very thin and lightly doped. Base emitter and collector region. See, this question is given only on the definition of the transistor. Okay, so if you know the definition of the transistor, so you can easily solve this thing. Okay, you can easily give the answer for this question. Okay, so here the option number 1 is correct. The base region must be very thin and lightly doped. Okay, so option number 1 is correct over here. And option number 2 is wrong. 3 is also wrong. Okay, and both emitter junction as well collector junction are in forward bias. So this is not a necessary condition. That's why this is also wrong over here. So here option number 1 is correct for this question. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 10. Light with an average flux 20 watt per centimeter square falls on a non-reflecting surface at normal incidence having surface area 20 centimeter square. The energy received by the surface during time span of 1 minute is. Okay, so the energy received by the surface will be, see here, so energy will be, we can write down here, energy equals to what? Flux into area into time, correct? So flux is what is given here, 20, area is what is here, 20. Okay, area is also 20 and this is also 20. Okay, and time is given in 1 minute. So just convert into seconds. So it will be 60. So after the multiplying this all things, you will get options number 4. So option number 4 is correct over here. Let's see the next question here. The next question, what is asking? A short electric dipole has dipole moment of 16 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb per meter. The electric potential due to the dipole at a point at a distance of 0.6 meter. Distance is given here and dipole moment is also given over here. Okay, correct. Dipole moment is given, distance is given, and what is given? Center of the dipole situated on a line making an angle of 60 degree. Okay, theta is also given. So P value is what is here? Dipole moment. This is a dipole moment and this value is given 16 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb meter. Okay, distance is what is here? Distance is also given. This is 0.6 meter and theta is what here? Theta equals to 60 degree here. Okay, so what is asking? He is asking, what is asking? Line making angle with a dipole axis. Okay, the electric potential he is asking in the question. Electric potential. So electric potential at a 60 degree, okay, will be what? So I am writing here V equals to Kp cos theta by R square. This is the formula, correct? So here you can denote with a D and you can denote with a R also, no problem. So R square. Okay, so after putting the value inside this formula, okay, you will get an answer. So if you will solve this equation, you will put the values inside this equation, then you will get option number C. Okay, option number 3. That's why this 200 volt is correct over here. Let's see the next question. Okay, next question is here. A ball is shown vertically downward with a velocity of 20 meter per second from the top of the tower. It hit the ground after some time with a velocity of 80 meter per second. The height of the tower is. Okay, so just see here what is happening. This question is taken from the kinematic chapter. Okay, so very easy question. Just see here, the ball is throwing from here. Okay, with a velocity, initial velocity of the ball is what? 20 meter per second. Okay, final velocity of the ball is what? When it will reach at the ground, that time the velocity is what? 80 meter per second. Okay, 80 meter per second, correct? So he is asking what is the height of the tower, correct? This thing he is asking. So what we can do here, we can use this formula. Final velocity, initial velocity square plus 2gh. So h equals to what? V square minus ui square by 2g. So if you will put all the value inside this formula, okay, and if you will calculate, then you will get option number 1. So option number 1 is correct over here. Let's see the next question here. The question number 13. Okay, the question number 13 is what? A resistance wire connected in a left gap of a meter bridge balance a 10 ohm resistance in a right gap at a point which divided the bridge wire in a ratio of 3:2. If the length of the resistance wire is 1.5 meter, then the length of 1 ohm of the resistance wire is here. Okay, so first of all I am drawing here 1 meter bridge. So just see, this is the meter bridge here. So this is what? A resistance wire connected in left gap. Okay, this is the resistance wire and the resistance is unknown right now, we don't know. Okay, so I am denoting Rx, and resistance of this wire on the right side is what? 10 ohm. So this is the 10 ohm over on this side, correct? After then, gap at a point will divide the bridge wire in a ratio of 3:2. Okay, so here is one wire. Let's suppose here is galvanometer. Okay, so this is dividing the wire, okay, in 3:2. Okay, so what we can write down here? We can write down like that: Rx by 10 equals to 3:2 ratio. So from here Rx will be what? 3 into 10 by 2. So it will be what? Rx value, unknown resistance wire. Resistance is what? 15 ohm. This thing we are getting over here, correct? So 15 ohm we are getting over here. And what he is asking after then? If the length of the resistance wire is 1.5 meter, then the length of 1 ohm of the resistance wire is, see, the resistance of this wire is what? 1.5 meter and resistance is what? 15 ohm, correct? He is telling if the resistance is, let's suppose, 1 ohm, then what will be the length, correct? So you can use over here unitary method, very simple thing. How we can write down here? For the 15 ohm, okay, for the 15 ohm resistance, length of the wire is what? 1.5 meter, correct? For the 1 ohm resistance, the length is what? Lx. So Lx will be what? Lx will be 1.5 divided by 15 into 1. So after the solving of this, we will get options number 3, 1 into 10 raised to minus 1 meter. So that option number 3 is correct over here. Okay, let's see the next question here. Okay, next question is what? When a uranium isotopes 92 uranium 235 is bombarded with a neutron, it generates 36 uranium 89, 3 neutron end. Okay, so what we are doing here? We are taking one uranium isotopes, okay, and we are bombarding one neutron over there. Okay, after then what is happening? That will be break obviously, and it is generating U36 U89. Okay, and he is generating 3 neutron also. Correct this thing. So this is telling which options is correct here. Okay, so this is a very basic question. When it will be break, then we will get this 4th number options here. Okay, so that's why the option number 4 is correct here. Okay, and you can balance the number of proton also. This is what? This is what? This is a number of proton. Okay, so if you will equal the equation x and y side, then you will also get option number 4 over here. Okay, so let's see the next question over here. Question number 15. A long solenoid of 15 centimeter length having 100 turns carries a current of 2.5 ampere. The magnetic field at the center of the solenoid is, he is asking. Very simple question. Okay, we know that magnetic field at the center of the solenoid formula is what? Okay, the formula is B equals to mu naught N I, correct? And N is what? Number of turns per unit length. So what we can write down here? Mu naught N by L into I. So after putting all the values inside this equation, okay, what we will get? We will get options number 2 here. Very simple question. Okay, just put this value inside this and get your answer here. Here this is what? Long solenoid. Length of, this is the length of the solenoid. This is the number of turn, means this is the N. Okay, this is the L, this is the N here, and this is the I over here. Okay, just put inside this formula and get your answer. Okay, let's see the next number question. Okay, in this question, what is asking? The average thermal energy for a monatomic gas is Kb is Boltzmann constant and T absolute temperature. Okay, so we know that degree of freedom for the monatomic gas will be what? Degree of freedom for the monatomic gas will be definitely F equals to 3, correct? And we know that energy of the gas is what? Average thermal energy of the gas formula is what? F by 2. See, I am writing the formula here. The average energy formula is what? F by 2 kT, correct? Here K is what? K is the Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature, correct? So we know that here is the monatomic gas, so degree of freedom should be 3 over here. So if I will put, so we will get 3 by 2 Kb into T. So that answer number 3 is correct over here. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay, let's see the question number 17. Okay, a capillary tube of radius r is immersed in a water and the water rises in it to height h. The mass of the water in the capillary is 5 gram. Another capillary tube of radius 2r is immersed in a water. The mass of the water that will rise in this tube is, okay, so here we are having one capillary tube, okay, and the radius of this capillary tube is what? R, and the water is rising in this capillary is what? Till h height. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are replacing this tube with another tube that has radius is 2r. Okay, so in first capillary tube, okay, radius is r and the water is rising till h height, and the mass of that water is what? 5 gram. If you will measure that mass now inside the first capillary tube, so it will become 5 gram. If you will take 2r radius capillary tube, okay, so what will be change here? The height rising water inside the capillary tube will change. Okay, so height will be changed and the mass of the water will be also changed. So he is asking what is the value of that mass over here. Okay, so let's see here. We know that capillary height formula is what? Capillary height formula is, I am writing over here. Okay, so capillary height H equals to, okay, 2t cos theta by rho g r. Okay, rho g r here. R is what? Radius of the tube. Rho is what? Density of the water. G is what? Gravitational acceleration. T is surface tension, and cos theta is the angle of contact, as is the rise height. So see here, here the material is not changing, correct? So angle of contact will be same here, T is same here, and density will be also same, and G is also same. Okay, so we can write down like that, H R, okay, equals to constant, correct? So see here, if I will take the another tube, okay, so what I can write down like that, we can write down like that for the another inside the another tube. Okay, rising height of the water is what? H dash, and the radius is what? 2r, equals to what? Equals to H R, correct? So H dash will be what? H dash will be, we will get here R get cancelled, so we will get H by 2. Means in the second tube, okay, the raise water will raise till H by 2 height. That's it. Okay, correct? So raising height we are getting here. Okay, and we know that mass is what? I am writing here mass equals to what? Mass equals to density into volume. Okay, so in the first tube the mass can be written as like that, density into volume is what? Pi r square h. Okay, So rho pi r square h value is what? This thing is already given in the question. This is the 5 gram. So I can write down over here. The value of rho pi r square h is what? Rho pi r square h is what? 5 gram. Correct? In the second tube, the mass is, let's suppose, mx, and mx can be written as like that. Mx equals to density and volume. Volume will get changed because the height is changing. Correct? So this is pi. Okay. Radius is what? 2r square, and height is what? H by 2. Okay. So what we will get here? Pi, this rho, pi, and this is 4r square. So this can be written as, this will be 4 and 4 will get out with the 2. So after the solving of this, finally we will get here 2r square into h. Correct? This thing we will get here. So value of rho pi and r square h is what? 5. So mx value what we will get? 10 gram. So that's why the option number 4 is correct over here. Okay. Let's see the next question. Okay, the next question is what? The ratio of the contribution made by the electric field and the magnetic field components to the intensity of the electromagnetic wave is. Okay. So see, if you know the basic things about the electromagnetic waves, okay, so you can give the answer for this question. Okay, if you will read the NCERT electromagnetic waves chapter, so you can give the easily answer for this question. Okay, so ratio will be what? 1 by 1. So that's why the answer is what? 3. Okay, answer is 3 over here. This answer is correct. Let's see the next question. Okay, assume that light of wavelength is 600 nanometer is coming from a star. The limit of resolution of telescope whose objective has a diameter of 2 meter is. Okay, so here diameter is given. Correct? Objective has a diameter of 2 meter is given. Okay, and wavelength is also given 600 Newton, and this question is only based on the formula. And what is the formula? Resolution formula is what? See, I am writing here. Resolution formula is 1.22 lambda by d. So 1.22 lambda value is what here? Lambda value is 600 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by d. D is what? 2 meter. So after the solving of this, you will get options number 2 here. Okay, just solve this. Okay, these values and you will get your answer. So after the solving of this calculation, you will get option number 2. Okay, let's see the next question here. Okay, in the next question, what is given? A wire of length L, area of cross section A is hanging from fixed support. The length of the wire changes to L1 when mass M is suspended from its free end. The expression for Young modulus is. Okay, so let's see this question over here. See, he is asking Young modulus. Okay, so this question is only based on the definition and only based on the formula. We know that Young modulus equals to what? Young modulus is stress by strain. Stress equals to what? Stress equals to force by area. Correct. And this is what? This is a strain. And strain is what? Change in length by original length. If you will put all the values here, so see, stress is what? Force by area. So how much force is acting on the wire? mg. Correct. Cross sectional area of the wire is what? A. Correct. Okay, so stress is completed. After then, change in length by length. So see here, changes to L1. Okay, so we can write down like that. Change in length means del L can be written as like that, L1 minus L. Okay, by final length, original length. Okay, change in length by original length, and original length is what? Original length is L here. So what we will get here? mgl by A L1 minus L. So here we will get option. If you will check the options here, so which option is coming? mgl, A L1 minus L. So that's why the option number A is correct over here. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay. The energy required to break one bond of DNA is 10 raised to minus 20 joule. This value in electrovolt is nearly. Okay. So here, to breaking a DNA, how much energy is required? 10 raised to minus 20 joule. So here what we have to do, here only he is asking just convert this joule energy into electrovolt. So what we have to do, we know this thing, just divide by the 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 9, then it will be converted into electrovolt. Okay, so what we can write down here, 10 minus 20, 10 raised to minus 20 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Okay, so after the solving of this, what we will get? We will get 0.06. So options number 4 is correct over here. Okay, just convert into electrovolt. So it will come in the electrovolt. Okay, see the next question here. The next question is what here? In a certain region of a space with volume 0.2 meter cube, the electric potential is found to be 5 volt throughout. The magnitude of electric field in this region is. Okay, so we know that the relation between electric potential and electric field is what? I am writing the formula here. E equals to minus del V by del R. Okay, so see, this del V is what? This is change in potential. And if you will see in the question, electric potential is constant throughout, 5 volt. So this voltage is not changing, that's why electric field will be, see, if I will put here the 5 and differentiation of the constant will be what? 0. That's why the electric field will be 0 over here. So answer second is correct over here. Let's see the next question. Okay, the next question is what? The mean free path for a gas with a molecular diameter d and number density n can be expressed as. See, this question is only based on the derivation. Okay, if you will know the result of the derivation, then directly you can give the answer. Okay, so if you know the derivation, okay, so you can give the answer for this question. So the answer will be what for this question is third. Okay, so answer will be third here. Okay, see the next question here. The next question is what? An electron is oscillated from rest through a potential difference V volt. If the de Broglie wavelength of the electron is 1.227 into 10 raised to minus 2 nanometer, the potential difference is. Okay, the potential difference is he is asking. So here, okay, he is asking potential difference. What is given over here? De Broglie wavelength is given in this question, correct? De Broglie wavelength is given, means lambda is given. Okay, so this can be written as, okay, lambda equals to what? 12.22. Okay, sorry, 12.27 will come. 12.27 by under root V. Okay, this is the formula. This formula, see, when the electron will oscillate it, then length of the de Broglie will be what? This. Okay, so here what we will get here, under root V equals to what? And this lambda is given right now in angstrom. Okay, so 12.27, this is in angstrom, so we have to multiply with the 10 raised to minus 10, correct, divided by lambda E, and lambda is what here? 1.227 into 10 raised to minus 2, and this is in nanometers, so it will be 10 raised to minus 9 here. Okay, so after the solving of this, what we will get here? After the solving of this, okay, this equation, we will get option number 1. So option number 1 is correct here. Simply we have to use this formula and you will get the answer here. Let's see the next question. Okay, and the next question is what? In a guitar 2 string, A has B made of same material, are slightly out of tune and produce beat of frequency 6 Hz. When tension in B is slightly decreased, the beat frequency increase to 7 Hz. If the frequency of A is 530 Hz, then the original frequency B will be. Okay, so here beat is given what? 6 Hz. Beat is given is 6 Hz, meaning is what? Beat is given 6 Hz, meaning is what? FA minus FB equals to what? 6 Hz here, correct? So one information this is given. Okay, second thing is what is given. If you will decrease the tension, then frequency is increase. Okay, so the meaning is what here? If you will decreasing the tension, so FB is decreasing. Okay, FB is decreasing because this is increases now, beats is increases. When it will be increased? When this FB is decreased. Okay, so here FA value is what? 530 Hz is given here. Okay, so FB should be less. After, if it is less, then we will get 6 Hz, correct or not? So that's why answer is A here. Okay, so for this question you have to use your mind and some concept and you will get your answer. Okay, let's see this question. A 40 microfarad capacitor is connected to a 20 volt 50 Hz AC supply. The RMS value of current in the circuit is nearly. Okay, so let's see over here. Okay, so here capacitance is given. Okay, capacitance is given. What is the value? 40 microfarad, correct? And what is given over here? The voltage is given. And what is the value of voltage? 200 volt, correct? And frequency is also given. And what is the value of frequency? 50 Hz. This all things are given. And what is he is asking? IRMS value. Okay, so he is asking IRMS over here. So we know that IRMS equals to what? VRMS by XL, XC. Okay, so XC value is what? XC equals to, we know that 1 by omega C, correct? So IRMS can be written as VRMS, okay, into omega into C. Okay, VRMS is already given. VRMS is 200 here. Omega is what? 2 pi f. 2 into pi. F is what here? 50 Hz. Okay, and this is the C, capacitance, and capacitance is what? 40 microfarad. So micro we have to convert into, okay, farad. So it will be 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, so IRMS can be written like that. So after the solving of this all things, okay, this equation, you will get options number 4. Okay, let's see the next question over here. The next question is what? The increase in the width of depletion region in a PN junction diode is due to. Okay, so if you will check the options here, the first option is what? Increase in a forward current. So this is not a correct. Okay, this is not a correct options. So this is not a correct options over here, and forward bias only. This is also not. Reverse bias. Okay, so here the correct answer is what? Reverse bias, and this is also wrong. Both forward bias and reverse bias. So reverse bias is the correct answer. So option number 3 is correct. Let's see the next question over here. The next question is what? The Brewster's angle IB for an interface should be. So here the answer is what? Here the answer number 4 is correct. Okay, the answer should be between 45 degree to 90 degree. So answer 4 is correct over here. Let's see the next question. Okay, the next question is what? The phase difference between displacement and acceleration of a particle in a simple harmonic motion is. Okay, so the phase difference between displacement and acceleration of the particle in a simple harmonic motion is. Okay, see, we know that displacement equation can be written as like that: x equals to a sine omega t, correct? If I will differentiate this displacement equation, then we will get a velocity. Okay, and again if I will differentiate, then I will get a acceleration. So velocity after the differentiate of displacement equation, we can write down a omega, okay, cos omega t. Okay, after then again if I will differentiate this equation, then what I will get? Acceleration, and acceleration can be written as minus a omega square sine omega t. Okay, so see here the negative sign is coming. Okay, so if you will convert, okay, if you will remove this minus sign, so you have to add over here is pi. Okay, so that's why the phase difference between this and this will be what? Pi radian. Correct or not? Simple mathematics, if I will apply over here, then what I will get? Pi radian. So answer number 2 is correct over here. Let's see the next question. Question number 30. A spherical conductor of radius 10 cm has a charge of 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb distributed uniformly. What is the magnitude of electric field at a point 15 cm from the center of the sphere? Okay, so in this question what is happening? We are taking one spherical, okay, sphere, and the radius of the sphere is given 10 cm and charge is also given. Charge is what is given over here? The charge is given 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Okay, and he is asking what is the electric field at this point, and the distance from here to here is what? 15 cm. So what we have to do here, just apply this formula. E equals to kq by r square. Okay, so here k is what? 9 into 10 raised to 9. Correct? Q is what? Q is given 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 7. 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Just put this. And R is what? Distance. Okay, and this is already given 15 centimeter. Okay, just put this value over here, 0.15 square. So after the solving of this equation, you will get electric field. So it will become 1.28 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per coulomb. That's why option number 1 is correct over here. Let's see the next question. Okay, the next question is what? The capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with air as a medium is 6 microfarad. What is with the introduction of dielectric medium, the capacitance become 30 microfarad. The permittivity of the medium is, okay, so here when you are filling air, okay, inside the capacitor, then what is the capacitance of the capacitor is 6 microfarad. Correct? So I am writing over here C equals to what? 6 microfarad. Correct? And if you will put inside some dielectric material inside the capacitor, so the capacitance is what? Capacitance is C dash, and this will be what? 30 microfarad. Okay, and we know that relation between C dash and C is what? C dash equals to Kc. Correct? So C dash is what over here? C dash is 30, K and C is what here? 6. So K value what we will get here? 5. So dielectric constant we are getting over here is 5. Correct or not? And we know that one relation also. Okay. He is asking permittivity of the medium. Okay. So we know that dielectric constant equals to what? Mu R. Okay. Mu M by mu naught. Okay, so mu m equals to what? Mu m equals to mu naught into K here. Mu naught value is what? This is the permittivity of the air. Okay, and this is already given 8 point. Here we can represent this thing Em by E naught. Okay, because this is the electric field now, so this we can represent with Em by E naught. Correct? So Em equals to what? K epsilon naught. K value is what here? K is 5 here. Epsilon naught is what? This is the permittivity of the free space, and this is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 over here. Okay, so after the solving of this, okay, you will get the answer, and if you will solve this equation, then you will get options number 4, 0.44 into 10 raised to minus 10. So option number 4 is correct here. Okay, let's see the next question. Next question is what? Taking into account of the significant figure, what is the value of 9.99 meter minus 0.009 meter. Okay, so if you will see over here in this question, the significant figure for this is what? Only 2 after the point. Okay, here is 2 digits, so this is the number of significant digit. Over here is what? 2 here. So in the answer also significant should be what? 2 here. So in only option number 3, okay, 2 significance is given over here. That's why option number 3 is correct here. Okay, so option number 3 is correct over here. Let's see the next question. The next question is what? A series LCR circuit is connected to an AC voltage source. When L is removed from the circuit, the phase difference between the current and voltage is pi by 3. If instead C is removed from the circuit, the phase difference is again pi by 3 between current and voltage. The power factor of the circuit is, okay, see the phase difference. Okay, for the phase difference we are using this formula for the LCR circuit. Tan phi equals to what? Tan phi equals to x net by R, correct? So when we will remove the L, okay, so what we can write down when we will remove the L? So what we can write down here? Tan phi equals to L we are removing, so only remaining is what? Xc. So Xc by R, correct? And right now what we are getting here? Okay, tan phi equals to Xc by R. Okay, and if we will remove over here C means capacitance, then what we can write down here? Tan phi equals to XL by R over here. So let's suppose this is equation 1, this is the equation number 2. Okay, so from equation 1 and 2, what we can write down here? We can write down Xc by R equals to XL by R. So from here Xc equals to XL here, correct? So Xc equals to XL here. So if X net is what? X net is what here? The X net is, if I will write down here, okay, if I will write down here, tan phi equals to Xc minus XL by R, and Xc and XL are equal, so that's why it will get 0 over here. So phi value what we will get here? Phi value we will get over here is 0. Okay, phi value what we are getting here? We are getting 0 here. And what he is asking this question? Power factor. What is the power factor of the circuit? And we know that power factor formula is what? Power factor formula is cos phi, and cos phi equals to what? Cos phi equals to is the power factor. Okay, this is the power factor. This is the power factor. So phi is what? 0 here, and cos 0 value is what? 1 here. So that's why option number 4 is correct here. Okay, let's see the next question over here. Okay, let's see the next question here. The next question is what? Dimension of the stress R. Okay, so very simple question. Stress can be written as force by area. Okay, force dimension is what here? Force is what? Mass into acceleration. So what we can write down here? Dimension of the force can be written as m1 L1 T minus 2, correct? And dimension of the area is what? L2. So after the solving of this, what we will get? M1 L minus 1 T minus 2. If you will check the options over here, so options number 1 is correct over here. Okay, so option number 1 is correct here. Okay, let's see the next question here. The next question is what? Light of the frequency 1.5 times the threshold frequency is incident on a photosensitive material. What will be the photoelectric current if the frequency is halved and intensity is doubled here? Okay, if you will read this question here, what is happening here? We are doing frequency is halved and intensity is doubled here. Okay, so this is the tricky question. Okay, so a small trick is what here? See, the incident light frequency is 1.5 times of the threshold frequency. This thing is given. Okay, so if you will do the half of this frequency, then it will be what? It will be only, let's suppose the original frequency is what? 100. Okay, 100. So threshold frequency will be what? Okay, this is the 1.5 times. Okay, so what will be the threshold frequency? You just try to understand like that. Let's suppose the light frequency is what? 1.5 times of the threshold frequency, correct? So here, let's suppose the threshold frequency is what? 100. Okay, this is what? This is the threshold frequency, f naught. So incident light frequency will be what? 150 Hz, correct? But what we are doing here, we are just doing half of this incident frequency. So right now the Fi will be what? 75 Hz, and this will be less than to the threshold frequency. So this is the less than to the threshold frequency. That's why, okay, photon will not emit from the plate. That's why the answer will be what? 0. Okay. Okay, let's see this question over here. The question is given the solid which have the negative temperature coefficient of resistance R. Okay, so here 4 options is given. The first option is was insulators only. The second option is semiconductor only. The third is insulator and semiconductor, and 4 is the metal. Okay, so for this question, option number 3 is correct. Okay, so remember this thing. Okay, see the next question over here. The next question is what? A charged particle having drift velocity of 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter per second is an electric field of 3 into 10 raised to minus 10 volt per meter, has a mobility in meter square per volt per second of. Okay, so let's see this question over here. Here drift velocity is given and electric field is given, and what is asking? Mobility. So what is the formula of the mobility? Mobility formula mb equals to what? Drift velocity by electric field. So drift velocity is what? 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 4, correct? And electric field is 3 into 10 raised to minus 10. Okay, after solving of this equation you will get option number 3. Let's see the next question. Okay, next question is what? Which of the following graph represent the variation of resistivity rho with temperature T for a copper? So always remember, okay, for this the graph will come like that, this. Okay, so for this the option number 2 is correct. Let's see the next question here. The next question is what? This question is from mechanics. Okay, two bodies of mass 4 kg and 6 kg are tied to the ends of massless string. The string passes over a pulley which is frictionless. See figure. The acceleration of the system in terms of acceleration due to gravity g is. Okay, so let's suppose the mass of this is what? m1. Okay, mass of this is what? m1, and mass of this is m2. Okay, and let's suppose the tension over here is T and the tension over here is T. Okay, the same string, so the tension will be also same. We know that already. So what is asking? He is asking what is the acceleration of this masses. Okay, so how we can solve this? Just make the free body diagram for the m2 mass. So if I will make, so it will be m2g minus T equals to m2a. This is the equation number 1. And if I will make the free body diagram for the m1 mass, so it will be like that: T minus m1g m1a. This is the equation number 2. And if I will solve this 2 equation, then I will get a value. And if you will solve this 2 equation, then you will get options number 2. Okay, let's see the next question here. The next question is what? A screw gauge has least count of 0.01 mm and there are 50 divisions in a circular scale. The pitch of the screw gauge is. Okay, so let's see what is the answer. We know that pitch, he is asking pitch. Okay, and pitch equals to what? Pitch equals to least count. Okay, least count into number of division. Okay, So number of division, how much given over here is 50 division is given. Least count is what? 0.01 mm. So 0.01 mm into 50. So what we will get over here? We will get 0.5 mm. That's why the option number 4 is correct over here. Okay, let's come on the next question. Okay, next question is what here? In Young double slit experiment, if the separation between coherent sources is halved and the distance of the screen from the coherent sources is doubled, the fringe width become. Okay, we know that fringe width formula is what? Fringe width formula is, okay, fringe width beta equals to what? Lambda d by d, correct? Here d is what? D is the distance between, okay, slits and screen, and small d is what? Distance between the slits. So in this question what is happening? Okay, if the separation between the coherent sources is half, okay, the separation between the coherent sources is half, means d is getting half, small d is getting half here, and the distance of the screen from the coherent sources is double, means capital C. Here what is happening? New fringe width will be beta dash equals to lambda, and this is 2d because the distance between the slits and the screen is doubled. Okay, we are doing the doubled here, and the distance between slits is getting half, so this will be d by 2 here. So what we will get here? 4 beta. Okay, so answer will be what? 4 times. That's why the option number 4 is correct over here. Let's come on the next question. The next question is what? The next question is here. For the logic circuit shown, the truth table is, okay, the logic circuit is given here and he is asking which table is correct over here. So let's see. See, this is what? This is the NOT gate. This is what? This is the NOT gate. Okay, and this is what? This is the OR gate. This is the NOT gate. This is the NOT gate, correct? And this is the OR gate. So let's suppose if I will put here 0 0 input, I will give 2 here. So what I will get? This is NOT, so it will be reversed, 1 1 I will get, and this is the OR gate. So here is A, here what we will get? A bar, here we will get B bar, and here what we will get? A bar plus B bar. So this is not a OR, this is OR, and here is one round circle also. Okay, so this is the NOR gate. So in the NOR gate what will be happen? Here one slash will also come. Okay, so this thing will be happen. So y can be written as A bar plus B bar and whole bar, correct? This thing we will get over here, this thing. Okay, so if I will give here 0 input, so what I will get? 1. Here I will get 0, then I will get 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 1, but this is what? OR plus NOT. So 1 plus 1 is what? 1, and after then reverse, what we will get? 0. So if I will give the 0 0, then what I will get? 1 here. Sorry, if I will give the 0 0 here, so what I will get? 0 here. Okay, so here 0 0 I am giving, so what I am getting 1 here. So this is not possible, and this is possible. Okay, and this is also possible result, but this is not possible because here we are getting 1. After then check the option, check the third table, because in the third table what is happening? You just see here 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0, here 1 0 1. Okay, so this is a different here, but the second number column row is same here, 0 1 0, and here is what? 0 1 1. Okay, so let's check the second number. Okay, second number will also give to us the result. Okay, this is not possible, fourth number, so just put the 0 here. So if I will give the 0 over here, okay, I am just removing this all things. Okay, let's see what we will get. So if I will give here the 0, okay, and if I will give 1 over here, so here what I will get? Here I will get 1, and here I will get 0. So 0 plus 1, what I will get? 1 I will get, correct? And reverse of 1 is what? 0. So 0 plus 1 should 0 plus 1 equals to what? 0. So 0 1, if you will check here, so 0 1, what we are getting here? 0. That's why the option number 2 is correct here. Okay, so let's come on the question number 43. The 40 number 3 question is what? The energy equivalent of 0.5 gram of a substance is here. Okay, so this is the mass is given. So here we have to use Einstein equation. Einstein equation is what? E equals to mc square. Correct. Mass is what? 0.5 gram. Gram, if I will convert into kilogram, then I have to multiply with the 10 raised to minus 3. And C value is what? C value is 3 into 10 raised to 8. And I have to do here the square also. So after the solving of this, what you will get? You will get option number 3. That's why the option number 3 is correct over here. Okay, let's come on the next question. Okay, question number 44. For which one of the following Bohr model is not valid? Okay, so always remember, Bohr model is only valid for the one electron, okay, atom. Okay, if the atom has a one electron, then it is valid. Okay, so first we will see the first number options. In the first number options, what is given? Singly ionized neon atom. So you know, in a neon atom, so many electrons, correct or not? So this is not possible. Okay, so hydrogen atom, for the hydrogen atom, Bohr model is valid. For the singly ionized helium atom, okay, for the singly ionized helium atom, Bohr model is applicable, and for the deuteron atom also it is applicable. Okay, so for this, for hydrogen atom, singly ionized helium atom and deuteron atom, they have only one electron. That's why the Bohr model is valid for this second, third and fourth option. But for the neon, it is not valid. That's why the correct answer is what? Correct answer is 1. Because he is asking Bohr model is not valid. He is asking for not valid. Correct or not? That's why. Okay, see the last question. The last question is what? The quantities of heat required to raise the temperature of two solid copper sphere of radii R1 and R2. R1 equals to 1.5, R2 through 1 Kelvin are in the ratio. Okay. So see this question over here, the quantities of heat required to raise the temperature of two solids. So here we have to give the specific heat to the sphere, then the temperature of the sphere will rise, correct? Material is same, radius is different over here, and we are giving here 1 Kelvin heat, correct? So let's see here. Specific heat can be written as Q equals to mc dt here, correct? So here C is same for both the sphere and temperature is also same, because we are, here the temperature is what? 1 Kelvin for both the, okay, for both the sphere, correct? And m is the mass. Mass will be different because the radius is different, correct or not? So this can be written as like that. Qs1 equals to m can be written as density into volume. Volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube, correct? R1 cube. And Q specific heat for the second sphere is what? Rho 4 by 3 pi R1 R2 cube. And this is C dt. Here will be C dt. Okay, this is the equation 1 and equation 2. If I will take the ratio of this 1 and 2, then what I will get? I will get Qs1 by Qs2 equals to, this all things will be cancelled out and we will get R1 by R2 power is Q over here, correct? So R1 by R2, what we can write down here? 1.5 R2. R1 is 1.5 R2 and here is R2. Okay, after then this will be get cancelled out. So ratio, if I will do the cube of 3 by 2, then what I will get? 27 by 8. So that's why option number 4 is correct over here. Okay, so discussion part is over here, and you can see over here the question is very easy over here. Okay, correct or not? Means if you will compare for the previous year paper, so this year paper is came simple. Okay, so thank you everyone.